and welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka on a midweek morning. It's a Wednesday and you're with me, Vasam, and Jason.
Hello.
Once again, and of course Jason was lying in the last segment when he said that I was going to do something. What did you say that I was going to do?
You were going to do something surprising for everyone.
Surprising, alright.
Spontaneous.
Yeah.
Thinking.
Sometimes you just don't believe Jason when he says certain things.
Darn it.
Anyway, as you would be aware from the first segment, we have a special guest in the studio who is Sanjay Vitana. He is a photographer and he also makes really cool 3D models, right, Jason?
Right? So awesome.
And Jason's the biggest fan of that because he's a huge fan of Star Wars movies. He even does YouTube videos of Star Wars movies. What he talks about them on YouTube.
Yeah. let's darn it. Alright, so Sanjay.
Maybe that was a surprising thing I was going to do.
Yeah, that was surprising. I was surprised. Good on you.
Thank you.
Alright, so Sanjay, like, again, just to mention that he is a Star Wars fan, so I'm guessing Star Wars had a huge impact on your life. In the sense, because when I was looking at your pictures of the models that you made, again, it looks so much like sci-fi.
Yeah. So
I'm guessing in the 80s, sci-fi, like when Star Wars came out, that kind of kick-started your campaign to make these models?
yeah, after seeing Star Wars, I went crazy. So I wanted to learn about these things, but there wasn't any way of learning these things in this country.
Right.
And
that's before YouTube came out.
oh yes, way
Of course.
before that.
I just had to make that
Star
clear.
Wars
Seems like
came out
YouTube
in
is like-
77, but I saw it in 1980.
Right.
So then I started looking for these things, how they do things in movie. Luckily, I got few books in some libraries, and later on I met Mr. Donald Karnatna. He had some magazines about these things, and he gave it to me. It was a huge help, and then I started doing experiments. So now you can find documentaries about how you make models. Even, some of the companies, they produce videos how to do these things.
I see.
But at that time it was so hard. But sometimes it's once we did myself and my friends did a shoot. We shot a small spaceship landing.
Okay.
So this had a big problem because when the spaceship landed, it was swinging like this.
All right, because like it's on
It wasn't
strings.
smooth.
Right.
So we got one shot right. This was on VHS video, not
Wow.
So cool.
so we had to hide the cables and all that. It worked. So we got one shot. But recently, I got this documentary about Terminator, the first one.
Right.
And the special effects people told us they had the same problem at that time.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's
So
cool.
sometimes we think they have all the technology, that's why we can know it's not. They go through the only thing is we see the finished product, so we don't know.
So what was the first 3D model that you ever built?
that I can't remember.
Was it a very long time ago?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Right. For, your more recent work had included a set design of a canyon
Yes.
and also like a spaceship, if
Yeah.
I'm correct. I believe we do have a video. I don't know if you're aware of this, but we managed to find it of Sanjay Vitana's video of your space travels with your models. Let's take a look. Dude,
Wow, that was some steady
that was
stuff.
something. I wish I could just watch it again, like just to be like that was mouth-opening stuff, jaw-dropping.
So it's a combination of miniatures,
Yeah,
hand-painted matte paintings, and also computer graphics.
right.
Some of them are computer. It's a combination.
Right.
So
And I understand that you not only, although you did that the space shuttle was CGI,
yeah.
you did also make a prototype of that ship.
Yes,
that way
yes,
you would have
yes.
a reference point,
Yes.
if I'm correct.
Yes, because to make realistic 3D models in the computer, sometimes you have to photograph real things and wrap it around to give a real look. because otherwise you have to be a very good artist to paint things very realistically.
And what kind of stuff do you paint it, or do you get it off 3D models? How does it work?
It's a very complicated.
Is it like handcrafted
I cannot explain
stuff?
things just because it's very complicated. So I don't do 3D. I mean CGI work, but I have a good knowledge of it. I mean, some of my students have very good knowledge of it, so I get them to work for me. But making the physical models, I can do that. Yes, even creatures, cable control creatures, very realistic ones. So I can do that.
You said some of your students. Do you teach?
Yeah,
as well?
I teach in the University of Moratua, the integrated design course.
Okay.
I teach basic photography for them, but a lot of students come to me. I mean, when they're students who are fascinated with these kind of things, they come and talk to me. Then they like to get involved. So sometimes we do experiments and have fun.
So you're a Star Wars fan as well? I'm pretty sure that's how the conversation starts. All right, but does it make sense to understand old school techniques of visual effects? Because nowadays everything, if you look at movies like the Avengers that came out or any blockbuster film that's coming out, it's 80% CGI, and there's set design, it's like minimal.
Yeah, but Hollywood also still uses this whole kind of specialty because sometimes it's effective and cheap. Also, to create very realistic CG is very hard. You have to have a very good knowledge, knowledge of new technology as well as old technology. Because Walt Disney has said, when you are born late, you have a lot to catch up. So, which is true, because knowing the old techniques.
That's a very powerful statement.
Because knowing old techniques sometimes it's it might reduce the cost of doing things. Also, you can innovate new things, combining things, like in Matrix. They went back the old cinema, because initially what they did was they used a series of still photographs to create a moving image. In the Matrix, to create this bullet time effect. So
in case you're wondering what that effect was, that effect is Neo in slow motion when the bullets pass by.
Just keep coming in, he goes like.
Or Trinity jumps up and she's still, but the camera goes around very fast. So I mean, you cannot fix a rocket to a camera and send that fast, because it will be a disaster. So they came up with this idea using about 120 still cameras. Now it's more.
120 still cameras. That's I don't even know what to say to that.
It's kind of like, I guess they placed it in different dimensions, and that way it would capture different.
So back to basics, but they created this cool effect.
I mean, you did, Jason, you yourself, you threw a few technical jargons there. You said CGI.
Oh, sorry, that's computer animated, graphics.
There we go.
Computer generated images.
There you go.
So basically, I mean, even with these 3D models, you need a combination of that as well, right? You
can do without it. Old days, they did it. 1977 Star Wars, they did it that way. But with CGI, now it's easy. You save a lot of time.
Right.
So, and we should use it.
Right. Relating this to your photography, I noticed that a lot of your architectural work, which is more of your professional work as well, is that you switched to DSLR as in digital photography, because I'm guessing it's a faster production rate, that way you won't spend too much time on one specific project.
I will follow you.
Okay, when you switch from film cameras
to digital,
especially the ones that you use for your architecture.
Yes.
Is it because it cuts down on your production time?
Now, one thing is, to process film is a problem now.
Right.
Yeah, like you said, the time factor.
And it's expensive. I noticed that. Film is expensive.
Yes, yes. But you cannot say that, because a good camera will cost you a few 100,000 rupees.
Yeah.
So people say, okay, you don't use film, like, but then again, there's a lifetime of a camera. So, and the other advantage in film is every frame when you expose, it's a new film.
Okay.
So, but this is the same sensor that you are using over and over again. So that's another thing.
Interesting.
Very interesting indeed. Let's talk a little bit about your food photography. It's something we didn't get into. I know it's morning, Jason, and I know you hate talking about
yeah.
food early in the morning.
There you go again. Every single time, Wasam. No, okay, just go ahead.
But how did you get into food photography?
Actually, when I left photochrome, I started with 5-star hotels. I did a lot of food photography for these 5-star hotels. But when I was working for this company also, we did some of food stuff for packages and stuff, promoting packages. And I found it very fascinating because how the chefs made, because I get to go to the kitchen.
Are you a bit of a foodie yourself?
Yeah.
Do you like experimenting on sorts of dishes?
Yes, I can make pizza.
Wow.
Wow. Not only can he make models, but pizza.
Not only can he make pizza, he can make 3D models of pizzas as well.
Yes, I can.
There you go. Make it last forever.
Yeah, so sorry.
So, but working with 5-star hotels is fine, but when you do food photography for others, sometimes, because in other countries you get food stylists. They know how to cook food for photographs,
Yeah.
not to eat. For example, when you roast a chicken to a level that is edible, it's not good for a photograph.
Okay.
You should cook it half, so to get the right color.
Okay.
Things like that. So you have to know about your food when you're taking photographs.
Interesting. All right, so Sanjay, you have to tell me this now. With your skill of photography and your knowledge about dabbling in film, and also with your models, is there a film in the future from Sanjay?
Yes, at the moment I have done a script, and I have planned most of the things how I'm going to do it, and what I need now is a person to put money for it.
Right.
So that's the hard part. So
As all films do need
yes,
funding, of
Yes,
course. But if you don't mind just telling us what this film will be about.
it's a very simple story about a father and a daughter, but it's a very action-oriented movie.
So it's sci-fi?
Sci-fi. It is sci-fi.
Yes, that's what I wanted to hear. Right,
Well, you've
Sanjay.
got your number one fan already.
Yeah, man, because it's like the old school techniques.
I
Like,
can be the
that's
number
what you
2
can
fan.
use.
Number 2.
I
I'll let him be the number 1.
I wish I had enough money to produce my movie.
Darn it. All right, Sanjay, thank you so much for being here. Good morning.
Thank you so much for inviting me and giving me opportunity. Thank you so much.
And we wish you all the very best for the future movie that you're planning to do, and we definitely
you.
hope that you're getting
Thank
this
you.
to us, right? So, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to a quick commercial break, but make sure you do email us at mtvsports@maharaja.lk if you want to find out more information about today's segment. We'll be right back after this commercial break.